As I pointed out in previous videos, creationists like to talk about all kinds of things besides evolution when they start an argument about what they think is evolution. Sometimes creationists like to talk about math. I've received numerous comments along these lines before. Look at all those tiny numbers. 1 over 10 to the 43rd power, 1 over 10 to the 50th power. These are all calculations about the supposed chances of us existing, or the universe existing, or Earth existing, or something. Wow, it all looks really unlikely, doesn't it, based on those numbers? I've seen about 20 different versions of this argument. You should always ask for sources for the numbers. These calculations fall under the old GIGO rule, which is an acronym that means garbage in, garbage out. I get a lot of funny answers when I ask for the sources and assumptions underlying these variables. I particularly love the ones that get angry that I don't already know what they're referring to, as if every educated person should be familiar with creationist literature, right? To give you an idea of the logic that creationists generally employ in these calculations, allow me to illustrate. I'm going to perform the most awesome card trick ever. Check this out. I'm going to shuffle the cards right in front of you, and then I'm going to pick 5 cards at random. There are no camera tricks necessary here. I could totally do this in person right in front of you and it would be just as great. Okay, I'm just going to draw the top 5 cards, and here we go. Yes, it looks like it's 7 of diamonds, 8 of spades, Jack of clubs, 4 of hearts, and Queen of clubs. That's right. Look at that. Do you know what the chances are of drawing those 5 cards in that order? 1 in 311,875,200. Even higher with the jokers in the deck. I can do this trick over and over again and keep defying the odds. Penn and Teller got nothing on me. What do you mean that card trick sucks? This is exactly the trick that creationists are doing, but without the visual element that makes it so obvious that it's nonsense. There are a few reasons why this type of math makes no sense, and this is how you can explain it to creationists to drive home your point. First, they generally take a series of random chance events that can occur separately, and that have nearly unlimited numbers of chances to occur, and then they decide that they're going to roll it into one calculation with one chance of success or failure. They also fail to make a prediction, which is why my card trick sucked. If I told you the outcome before I drew the cards, then it would have been a cool trick. Related to this, they assume that humans in our present form are somehow predestined, that we had to exist as we do today. We didn't have to exist at all. We're just the first species that's managed to reach this level of sentience on this planet. We could have been sentient lizard people, or sentient elephant-like beings, or been vaguely human but had wildly different features than we had today. So yes, humans are 1 in a billion, but when you consider that there were probably 900 million other possibilities that would have worked out just fine as well, it makes the odds much less dramatic. Creationists say that scientists that dismiss evolution are discriminated against. This was part of Ben Stein's argument in the movie Expelled. When you hear creationists tell you this, they're often referring to one or another scientist that was denied tenure at a university, supposedly just because of their creationist views. That doesn't sound very fair, does it? Well, here's the problem, and this is how you can explain it to a creationist. Being a creationist isn't the reason that they're being denied tenure. Failure to publish original research is often the reason. If you're not logical enough as a scientist to understand the evidence for evolution, after that much education and experience, how do you think your logic is going to hold up in peer review for any research that you conduct? Being a creationist isn't the disease, it's a symptom of allowing your ideology to take precedence over the physical evidence. And science doesn't work that way. It's not a relativist discipline. If they persist in arguing that they should be given a chance to do their research anyway, then ask them if they think that construction companies should allow their workers to build schools with toothpicks glued together instead of drywall, if they feel like their ideology compels it, regardless of facts. So next time you argue with a creationist and run into arguments about tortured math or scientists being discriminated against, remember these tips. If you use them well, their arguments should fall like a house of cards. Go fish, creationists!